Alright, now I ran into the rarest 96 Ford Ranger. It's a 4-cylinder and it's a 4-wheel drive. But one more thing, what makes it rare is it's got a manual transfer case and a manual transmission. This is pretty cool. Everything else is tore up. Alright, so obviously I was jealous of this setup in this truck. What made that truck so rare is the Mazda 5-speed manual transmission, which is a 4-cylinder transmission attached to a manual transfer case, which is a Borg Warner 1354. I think it says right here. And the code on this is a F57. It just means it's a 95. So I wanted to grab it for me, because otherwise it gets crushed, and such a rare drivetrain just goes to waste. So I wanted to pull it and buy it. Before that, I had to find out why the truck was at the junkyard, because I didn't want to spend all the time pulling the transmission out just to find out it's broken. So first, I had to look at the engine, because most of the time a lot of cars get junked because their engines are trashed. At this junkyard, they drain all the fluids, so you can't really look at the dipstick. So I put a socket on the crankshaft and spun it. It had some compression I could feel, so I was pretty sure it wasn't the engine. So next, I moved back and I put the transfer case in gear, and I tried to spin rear drive shaft, and it wouldn't move. So I was like, is it locked up? I had to continue to investigate. So next I pulled both front and rear drive shafts out, and then did the same thing, try to spin rear drive shaft, and it spun just fine. So what I found is the front differential was locked up. So that was a good sign. That means that that was the reason, and most likely the truck was junked for that. So then I put the transfer case in 4 high and 4 low, and then 2-wheel drive, and you could hear it's pretty quiet for what it is. So, and then I looked at the leaks, make sure there was no leaks, there was no damage. Usually these 3 rubber bushings go bad, and the transmission fluid will leak out slowly, and then it'll starve the transmission from oil, and it'll toast all the bearings. Now that's it's not very good. So, but that wasn't the case. Next, I found something goofy. This is an inspection hole, and usually it has a rubber cover on it. Well, this one had a piece of plywood with a stud sticking out with 2 nuts on it. So I had to remove it to find out what it was, to make sure that the previous owner didn't drill in the case or something like that. Because Ford Ranger people, they're I've seen some strange stuff. Sometimes it makes me wonder. But anyways, I took it out. There was just 1 piece of wood on the inside, bolt, and the second piece of wood. So it kept all the dirt going inside the bell housing. So everything checked out. So then it took me 2 hours to yank it out, laying on the sand full of glass, still some on the transmission, but I got it out, paid for it, and there she is. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I might use it for one of my projects, or if somebody wants to buy it, they want it more than me, Well, I'll get rid of it. I'd rather save it so somebody else can use it, because it's not like they're making those transmissions anymore, especially for 95, 96, 97 Rangers. So, but yeah, it was a pretty good score at the yard, thanks to that super rare Ranger. And yeah, pretty happy. So anyways, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching, and like always, have a good day.